Hi, it's Cheryl from Home Am I Making. How you guys doing tonight? I wanted to come on tonight and show you this craft that I have been working on. I found this paper at Joann's Fabrics, and when I seen it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so pretty for spring. But I didn't want to use Mod Podge with it. I just didn't want to Mod Podge something else. So I decided to do something different with the stock paper that you can buy. If you're hopping on, let me know you're on here. Give me a thumbs up or a heart. I'll keep track of it on my iPad. So let me show you what I did. I started out with a embroidery hoop. Michelle, I am doing well. Let me get you on here because it's easier to look down here than it is to look up there and keep track of everybody that's on here. Where are you? Let's see. Okay, why isn't it coming up on here? Oh well. So anyway, I started out with an embroidery hoop. Actually, let me try again. I know I usually don't come on this late. It's late for me. I can go to bed at 9:30. Let me just get you on here so I could interact. For some reason, it's not showing my live post. Let's see. Technology. Okay, let's see. Wonder why it's not coming up on here. But anyway, let me just start my craft tonight. So I'm starting with an embroidery hoop, and I don't know if you missed this, Michelle, but I found this really nice paper from Joann Fabrics. It's the open stock paper. It didn't come out of a book, and I'm like, what can I do with this? I didn't want to just do Mod Podge because it just seems like that's what I do with paper. But so what I did, let me just try to get you guys 1 second. Having technical difficulties. Let's see if it'll come up live on the iPad. Yep, now I got you. Hi Deborah, hi Elaine, Joni, Michelle. Glad you guys can come on tonight. Let me get that off this way too. So let me start all over. So for you that just joined me, sorry about that. I found this paper at Joann Fabrics, and I thought it would be a really nice thing to do for spring. It's birds, it doesn't have bunnies on it, which bunnies are my favorite, but how many bunny things can you do? So I didn't want to do Mod Podge, so what I decided to do was I took this felt. This is kind of like a hard felt, and I did get this at Joann's also. Later on, I seen that you can buy felt like this that has a sticky back that you can peel off. I didn't buy that though. So what I did is I took the harder felt and this piece of the open cardstock. I took an embroidery hoop and I traced it out on the outside and made 2 circles. Because my theory is I want to put this paper behind here, but it's flimsy. So this is going to give it a backing. And I went ahead and did that. So if you notice, I have this felt on the back of the paper. And I did glue it together. What I didn't do is I didn't use hot glue. Because if you do use hot glue, it would have lumps on it here. So I used a handy dandy glue stick. So let me show you what I did. Who's on here, Joni? I know, Michelle, I love this paper. Joni, you know Elaine? That's funny. You got, I can't keep track of who knows who. I think you guys were on here the other day together too. So what I did is I did put them together and I cut them out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this on here with the hot glue. So another thing I was mindful of when I cut the pattern out, I wanted to make sure I had the birds in it that I liked, that I wanted to be in the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hot glue it onto the ring. I'm going to actually use the back, hopefully without burning myself this time. I'm gonna glue the paper and that hardback felt on here. So, gotta make sure I want that at the top. So the reasoning behind putting that felt on there is it's gonna give it a more substantial backing instead of this just being paper that is on here. So now it feels more secure and thick, because I'll show you what I'm going to add to it. So make sure that sticks and is glued down. Let me do some more hot glue. Hi Cindy. Before I make a mess, let me get that glue out of there. Okay, so that's what I have so far. You could actually leave it just like that and do a whole wall with different ones, but I'm going to decorate this so you'll see what I mean. So that's what we have so far, and it's pretty hard now, even though that was just a piece of paper. So then what I did is I found this little pick at Joann's, and I wanted to add that here. So that's where that's going to go. But before I do that, I thought I would add some, and this is going to make a mess, but I thought I'd add some of that moss, because let me show you what I have that I'm going to add on here. I found these little wooden birds. Okay, they actually come like this though. So I painted it blue, and look what I found to put behind it. Remember the galvanized metal pieces that I made? So I'm going to stick that behind there. So you guys remember that video I did with the faux galvanized metal? There it is coming into play right there. So what I'm going to do before I attach any of that, I'm going to put some of the moss down on some of the ring and then on some of the paper, because I want this behind the bird and I want it behind the pick. Now is the messy part. And I did get this moss at the Dollar Tree. And you'll see in a second why I'm putting it on the embroidery hoop. Let me see. Great idea. Yep, it is. I think it's going to come out pretty cute. Let me see what else, what's not attaching. Do the flip test, and that tells me what is not attaching. So what I wanted to do is, I'm going to put this on here like this, but now I'm going to go back and cover that so we don't see it after I glue it on. And I probably want to add some more moss right there. Let me just do that real quick. I'm so afraid to burn my hand with this glue gun because I do it every time. So there you go. I put that on there. So far, this is what I have. I'm gonna fiddle with the that's what I get for not waiting for it to dry. That's what happens when you do a live video. Let me get more glue on there. And I just make sure that secures it before I lift it up. So let me hold on to it. So that's what I have so far. I am going to add a little bit more of this moss over the top of this end of the pick to cover the handle of it, I guess you would call it. Put that on there like that. Let me get this a little bit more glued up here so it doesn't fall down. So I'm just gonna glue that little egg to there, like that. So you see where I'm going with this? There you go. I'm gonna tip it to see what stays. There you go. So again, that piece of felt being put behind there makes this piece of stock paper a little bit more substantial so that I can lean stuff on it. Okay, so let's see what falls off besides that. Okay, so what do you think so far? Let me get that little piece of glue off of there. There you go. Now what I'm going to do is back to my little bird. So I did take a piece of the birds are cute. Where did you get them? I actually ordered them online at joann's.com. They have so much more stuff online than they do in the store. And you know, if you ever catch their sales on top of a sale on top of a sale, but these birds, they're not cardboard, but they're like a pressed wood. There was 2 different styles that came in the pack, so I'm going to use this one. But all I did was take some blue paint and a little white paint and made it a little bit lighter because it shined too much with the it contrasted too much with the paper. So again, this is the little remember the galvanized things I done out of the dollar store trays? That's why I pre-do it, so I always have something quickly on hand. So that just gives it another little dimension behind that. So I'm going to glue those 2 together. I did cut it out as a bird, like the shape of the wooden bird, but I made it just a tad bigger so that it can be seen from the front of it. There you go. So that's how that's going to look. And what I'm going to do is I am actually going to put him like right here. What do you think? There you go. So let's see if I can get him on here without falling off. So the paper was on sale at Joann's. 50% off. So I calculated this whole thing to be under $5 in supplies. If, of course, you had it on hand to begin with. Okay, so there you go. Let me just make sure he's not going to fall off. So what do you think? Then what I thought, I thought I was going to hang it from like a just a piece of jute, but then I decided, have you guys seen these beads at the Dollar Tree? I mean, not the Dollar Tree, Michael's. They're $10, so 50% off with your coupon. They're really tiny, and sometimes they have a shine to them. They're not as raw as the beads that are the ones that I use to dye, because they got like, they must have a gloss on them somehow. So what I decided to do was string them on to a piece of jute. So I did that ahead of time so I didn't take all the time on the video. And I'm going to use that as the hanger. So I don't know if I'm going to make it like a circle and hang it like that, or make it straight like this and hang it like that. What do you guys think? Should I do it like this so that it hangs like that? Or should I do it so that it hangs like a straight line like this, and then maybe put a hoop at the top? See that? What do you think? Let's see. Maybe I will, I think I'm going to make it into a hoop. So let's make it into, loop it, Joni? Okay, I'll loop it. I'll loop it. So what I'm going to do is, since this has that little hook thing on it, that's what I'm going to wrap it around first and tie my jute onto that to secure it onto something. I did make a pattern with the beads. There's three different sizes that I used. There's more than 3 different sizes in that container, but I did use 3 different sizes. So let me cut this. I'm making a mess over here. So there you go. So that's what that's gonna look like. What do you think? Think you guys can do it? So think of all the endless possibilities. This is just a spring one, but obviously different paper, different pick, different wooden animal, different greenery. You can create a bunch of different things with this. There's so many of these pretty papers that are not in those books that I just go down the aisles all the time and just think, what can I do with them? But again, by putting that hardback felt on here, it made it more substantial so that this is kind of stiff, even though it is a piece of paper. So there you go. This is tonight's craft. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me some thumbs up, some hearts. If you know anybody that would like to see it, share it to their, or sprinkle it to their page. Thank you for catching me live tonight, guys. It's late for me, but I see that more of you are on here at night. So thank you for coming on. Thank you for watching. And oh, thank you, Michelle. It's so easy though. Bye, Michelle. Again, take this and run with it. Make it your own style, make it your own theme. I just happen to be on a spring kick, but there you go. It's craft paper. So thank you for watching. If you know anybody again that would like to see something like this, please spread it to their page. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.